Israel Adesanya versus Vettori.
2. What about it?
2.
We're doing predictions?
Predictions.
Yeah.
Predictions, analysis, review.
Did you watch the first fight?
Absolutely not.
So I think
it was first fight in the UFC, right?
I don't know. I don't think it was first. I don't think it was first or second. But it was really early in both of their careers in the UFC.
Yeah.
Marvin Vettori is a weird situation. I don't know. He's hasn't really got that much attention from like in the MMA world. At the same time, he has been beating guys at a high level, which you would think like, okay, he starts to get these fans, he starts to get this attention, all this kind of stuff, but it hasn't really caught on for him. I don't know what it is. He's Italian born. He's from Italy.
Rocky.
He speaks English fluently. He does all the interviews. He does everything. It's very interesting. If after the Kevin Holland fight, I looked at post-fight conferences with Marvin Vettori, and the views weren't that great, right? They just weren't there. I don't know what it is with MMA fans. They just don't click with him. Maybe it's Marvin Vettori's personality. Maybe it's with just the way that he talks. I don't know what it is. One thing that people do kind of know is that he comes off as kind of angry all the time, right?
He does.
So he's always has this thing where he has the chip on the shoulder, but it's not necessarily. It doesn't. What this is a sentiment that I've heard is it doesn't come off necessarily as like he has this goal that he has in mind. It's more of an entitlement, right? Because a lot of his career since that first Adesanya fight was talk about how he beat Adesanya.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I beat Adesanya. Adesanya robbed me from a win, right? On that night. It should be me that won. All that kind of, he's been saying that since that fight that they had years and years ago.
Yeah.
And what doesn't help is Israel Adesanya is just clowning him. He just makes fun of him. Whoa. It was like right after the Blachowicz fight. He had an interview with Ariel Helwani, and he kind of like made a joke again. He's like, "Oh, he thinks he won. He was
talking about him, or are you talking about it was Whitaker too, right? How like he was talking about like he wants one of those 2 fights."
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm just talking about how he made fun of him, right? So Marvin Victoria. God. Marvin Vettori is a strange situation. Now, aside from that, let's just see what happens in the fight, right? Like, what's going to happen in the fight? The first fight, the way that it went was Israel Adesanya was winning the exchanges on the feet. The trouble that he had, Israel Adesanya, was getting taken down. So Marvin Vettori would just keep pushing forward and try to grapple him. Israel Adesanya's defense was to put his back to the cage, to keep himself up, and then rotate off. So Israel Adesanya, yes, he has improved in his wrestling, but it's kind of the same strategy.
As in the Blachowicz fight, as we saw what happened, right?
Blachowicz is a much better wrestler though than Vettori. But I'm saying Israel Adesanya's approach to wrestling is basically the same. Keep your back to the fence. Try to get your back to the fence as soon as possible. Use that to make the space smaller and stand up, right? Because you can use the cage as leverage to get back up. Marvin Vettori, his hands are not that fast.
But
he's not that powerful. He's more
what are
of
you talking about? In the Holland fight, he's throwing bombs.
Yeah, but what happened?
But that's Kevin Holland, right?
Yeah, those same bombs he threw at Israel Adesanya as well. My point is, I don't think Israel Adesanya is going to be too worried about power shots from Marvin Vettori. His hands, just to sum it up, I believe Israel Adesanya has the advantage stand up, right? Yeah. I don't know if you would agree, but I don't know. Would you agree?
It's Adesanya. He has the advantage over the whole world in striking. For being honest,
whole world.
Well, not whole world, but like in his division class, he does.
Whole division?
I think so, yeah. He's the best striker there.
Okay, that's fine. So Marvin Vettori is going to have that to worry about. Grappling, I think Israel Adesanya has improved in his approach, just fine-tuning it. rather, to the point where I don't think Marvin Vettori is going to be able to impose his will like he wants to do. Wants to do.
Yeah, as he wants to do.
Like, if you put Kevin Holland, like, talk about the Kevin Holland situation, I don't think Marvin Vettori is going to be able to replicate that against Israel Adesanya. Marvin Vettori is going to have his moments, but ultimately he's going to probably lose via decision or TKO. It's hard for me to say TKO.
A la Paulo Costa.
No, I don't know. We would have to do more research. We didn't do that. I was gonna say we're gonna do a closer look at that fight. Hopefully, people click that video
We're gonna
watch
be clickbaity.
Huh?
We're gonna be very clickbaity.
That's all you, man.
That's all you, man.
Oh, why Marvin Vettori KOs Adesanya?
His secret weapon. Eugene Merriman, Mike Blood Diamond.
These guys are making callbacks to all the old videos we made for Jan Blachowicz. Yeah, actually, like, I haven't really looked into it too much, but from surface level, I would pick Israel Adesanya.
Hopefully this fight trends well though. Like compared to like his last few fights, his fight doesn't seem as hyped.
Who?
Adesanya.
Israel Adesanya. Yeah, because you're talking about the last video we uploaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.